Hi, I'm Olivia.
And I'm Amy.
And this is a Girls in Marketing podcast. Every week, we release a new episode that you won't want to miss. Our guests are industry experts with amazing experiences, so you'll always come away with new nuggets of wisdom. From educational and inspiring episodes covering the latest in digital marketing to casual and fun chats with the Girls in Marketing team, unpacking marketing myths and trends, we've got it all.
Here at Girls in Marketing, we're all about empowering and supporting women to be the best marketers they can be through our online learning platform and community. Check out our resources and membership to get involved, as we'd love to welcome you to our inner circle.
Right, let's dive into an episode together.
Merry Christmas!
Welcome back to a special episode of the Girls in Marketing podcast. It's a Christmas special. Got to do it. We always have. Mm-hmm. I've ended up with this again, which I'm just not very happy about.
Please
it, I'll be
refer
honest.
to last year's Christmas episode.
If you're interested, refer to last year. But yeah, it's always a nice time of year. You know, we love Christmas, and it's obviously an amazing time for marketing and for ads and Christmas campaigns galore. Mm-hmm. So, Christmas campaigns this year, a little bit different. Lots of brands like going for it, really putting the budget behind it. Some brands not. Favourite campaigns. What are our favourite campaigns for 2023?
So mine has to be Shelter UK's Good as Gold campaign. I posted about this on LinkedIn actually. A really impactful campaign, and I always, I say always, last year I did really like Buddy the Elf, the Asda campaign. However,
hence the jumper.
Elf. If for anyone watching, I've got an Elf Christmas jumper on right now. I feel like the impactful campaigns have really hit this year really well. So Shelter UK are a homelessness charity, and they kind of highlighted how many people, how many children in particular in the UK live in temporary accommodation. Obviously, it's not the sleigh bells, everything, like jingle bells, everything kind of Christmas campaign, but I think it's so impactful and so relevant for the time right now for everything that's going on, especially in the UK. It basically is, I think it's only like 60 seconds, 90 seconds. And it's an ad that shows a young girl who is in a post office, I think she is, and she overhears someone saying, "Be as good as gold and Santa will bring you what you want." Obviously, she takes that quite literally, and you see throughout the ad her doing many like Christmassy activities and helping and being as good as gold. And then on Christmas Day, wakes up in temporary accommodation with her family. So really, really impactful. And it just, honestly, if you've not watched it, I definitely would recommend going and watching it because it's really impactful, and definitely adds another side to Christmas that you don't always see on the happy jolly adverts. I just loved that this year, so definitely had to mention that. And Shelter UK have done so many impactful marketing campaigns. They did one with IKEA, I think it was. Do you remember us talking about it? And that was about, again, like temporary accommodation, and do you think this is fit to be a home? And that was within IKEA stores. So they're just so good at the marketing campaigns and really impactful.
Yeah, definitely. I think they're really thought-provoking, and I really love that campaign as well. Mine is not a campaign. It's the opposite of a campaign. It's a brand that have kind of taken a stance of saying we're not going to do a Christmas campaign this year, which is kind of on a similar theme, like you say. You know, obviously Shelter's campaign is surrounding, you know, the kind of state of homelessness and things like that at the moment. So Iceland have basically said, their managing director came out and said, you know, we're not doing a Christmas ad this year because we're going to spend the money on helping our customers in other ways. So, I mean, I guess, I don't know, investing the money in reducing prices or making kind of food more accessible. I don't really know exactly what that means for them, but they basically said that he feels it makes sense for them with, apparently I think it's a third of consumers are predicted to spend less this Christmas or something like that. And so basically, you know, through this kind of cost of living and stuff like that, it's a way of them saying we're going to spend less money on this huge ad and actually put money into supporting our customers. So yeah, I think that's quite a nice thing to do. Like I say, it's not an actual campaign in and of itself, but it's a stance that they've taken, which I think is quite impactful as well. And I think I read somewhere, I think it was the Advertising Association, that almost £10 billion have been spent on Christmas ads by brands, which, you know, we all love a Christmas ad, of course we do. And I think that they can be done so well. And I think that the ones, you know, that are really impactful and stuff are amazing. And, you know, they have a really great meaning behind them. But it does make you think when a brand like Iceland says, you know, we're actually not going to put our money into that this year. We're going to spend it on actually, you know, investing in and supporting our customers. It makes you think, like, actually, could that money be better spent? Like, is it just this thing now where it just becomes a given that every year brands have to spend more and more and more to outdo each other? And it's just like, when does that start?
Yeah, it just becomes like almost like a rat race sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think Iceland's a really good one in general because they've done a lot of those sort of things. I'm sure, like, maybe last year, was it like orangutans in there?
I think that was a couple of years ago, wasn't it? Yeah, and it was.
I loved that.
Yeah,
one.
that was to do with something about like the impact of like palm oil on them. Yeah. So they get, again, always kind of has like meaning and stuff behind it.
And I think they're the ones that always stick with me, like the Christmas campaigns with an actual meaning behind it. Again, however, saying that in last year's episode, I did say my favourite one was Asda and Buddy the Elf, so I do have to caveat with that.
On the note of Asda, I will say, I hate to be cliche, but I do love Michael Bublé at Christmas. So this year's Asda campaign, I'm obsessed. Like, so basically, it's directed by, I'm sorry for butchering his name, Taiki Waititi, and he directed Jojo the Rabbit, the latest Thor film. I think he was in it as well, and he's directed it, and they've got Michael Bublé in it, and he's like the Christmas quality checker. So he goes into the festive warehouse and checks the, like, Asda's Christmas food. I think it's a really clever advert. Like, we all love Christmas food, but in the UK, we've got to admit, we do love a bit of Michael Bublé at Christmas. So I think it's so memorable, and I think it's just kind of very cheerful, quite joyous, and just brings you into the Christmas spirit. So I have really enjoyed watching that one.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a brand that did one where Mariah Carey, like, it gets unfrozen?
That was just Mariah
Was that
Carey's
just her own socials?
Yeah,
She
was
was
that this year?
defrosted.
Yeah, that was this year.
I feel like the same vibe as Michael Bublé.
There are those memes though where it's like, it's that time,
It's
Michael
time.
Bublé's defrosting. And I think that's okay because I will be playing this Christmas album.
Honestly, he makes all his royalties at this time of year. Like, fair play to the guy.
And he said he's very honoured to be in it as well. He says he loves Christmas and he knows the UK love him. So
Does he love Asda?
he loves the
That's
Asda
true.
price.
Does he shop at Asda? Is it authentic?
We don't.
But I think that's why people loved seeing Mariah Carey come out and do the kind of play on the it's time.
Yeah, like a bit of fun.
Yeah, it's like a bit of fun, like tongue in cheek, like, and that was like literally on like the 1st of November.
Yeah.
So obviously, like, brands were on it this year. I feel like as soon as Halloween was over, everyone was like, okay, Christmas time.
That sound does go through me though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it really goes through
I
me.
love Mariah.
I was just going to say we should have started the episode with that instead.
To totally caveat everything everyone says about, like, these lovely campaigns, one of my favourite ones this year is the TK Maxx, the Festive Farm. It's literally a llama who is dressed, all these animals who are dressed in, like, these really cute clothes.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
It genuinely is, like, I love the idea of the shelter and the stance that Iceland's taken. But when I seen that, I was just like, that's just so funny. Like, I don't know how much budget's gone into it and everything like that. But it's basically like, it's like two older people and they've got like a farm. And then all the animals come out of the barn and they're all in like festive jumpers. Which I just think for me, was just when I seen it, I was just like, I literally laughed so much because I was just like, that's so funny. And it the tagline of it was like, spoil like everyone at Christmas or something like that, which is just so nice. And I think on the theme of that, because I think there's a lot of themes running this year around like loved ones and spending time with loved ones, was the Amazon Joyride, which is like 3 older women and they like get involved in the kids' fun, if you will. And I think again, like that just shows that, you know, Christmas is about spending time with your loved ones. And, you know, I think it's such a really nice, like, I know obviously the Festive Farm one is a bit of fun, but I think it's just really nice when brands really play into that like time with loved ones and stuff like that. What I love is that it's not just all the traditional brands doing campaigns now. Like, obviously, I wouldn't advise people to spend like, you know, billions on a campaign, but I love the fact that, you know, years ago it used to just be like John Lewis Christmas ads. And then obviously like Aldi got involved with like the whole Kevin the Carrot. And then I think what I love now is that even smaller brands are still like, they're giving it a go, you know, they're trying it. And I really love that because, you know, for a long time it was just like the top players in the game and that's it. Whereas now there's like loads of people getting involved, which is nice.
Or even if you're not necessarily getting involved from your own Christmas campaign perspective, like as a brand reacting to Christmas campaign perspective, campaigns, because I've seen like some people, like some companies who have like, obviously like, it's like a local charity, local cafe, near me, who have like played on like the Kevin the Carrot, like the ad this year. And I feel like it acts as kind of like a bit of an inside joke with your customer, because if like people know what you're talking about, it's like, oh yeah, I get that. And then it's like a bit of more of a bond. So I think there are definitely like them kind of accessible ways that you can play on Christmas campaigns, because there are so many. The options are endless, almost.
I think the issue with Christmas campaigns sometimes is that it's not always relevant for your brand though. And I think as marketers, obviously it's great to acknowledge like the genius that's gone into the Christmas campaigns. But I think also like for anyone that's listening that is kind of like, oh, well, you know, our brand could never do that. Like, don't get yourself caught up in it.
As well.
Like, that's totally okay. And Christmas as a season isn't relevant for everyone, you know, and don't make it if it's not.
Yeah.
I think that's key as well, is like, don't just create an ad or create some post just because, you know, it's not worth it. Again, that authenticity piece, it's much better to be like, you know, for example, like Iceland saying, right, actually, we're not going to spend the money on a Christmas ads, or like, we're not going to do this because it's not relevant. And I think, you know, as much as it is great to talk about campaigns, it's also good to acknowledge when it's actually not relevant as well.
Definitely.
Yeah, and to not just kind of jump on it just because. Yeah.
Well, I hope everyone has a very Merry Christmas if you celebrate it. And yeah, let us know on like socials what social campaigns or what Christmas ads you've been loving this year, because we'd love to check them out.
And don't forget, the Girls in Marketing podcast season 5 launches in January.
Yeah, exactly. And I actually just remembered, we haven't even introed you, Becky.
I know. Hello. I am Becky and I'm the content marketing assistant at Girls in Marketing, and I've been here, well, in the team since May 2023.
Super excited to have Becky on our podcast in season 5. So yeah, I hope everyone has a very Merry Christmas if you celebrate it, and just enjoy the festive season. And we will be back in the new year for a brand new season of the Girls in Marketing podcast. Thanks so much for joining us for another episode of the Girls in Marketing podcast. We love hearing from you, so if you enjoyed this episode, leave us a review to let us know your thoughts, and make sure you hit the subscribe or follow button to be the first to hear when our new episodes released. Don't forget, if you want to get involved with Girls in Marketing, check out our membership to join our incredible community of marketers. Think marketing resources, courses, webinars, and more. Find out more on our website or drop us a message on any of our social channels at Girls in Marketing.